Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. This is the daily read for Friday, the 22nd of September, 2023. All signs reading, and we will simply have a little light scooch around whatever we find in the cards. So these ones I'm fiddling with here are the minor arcana of the Rider-Waite split into its suits. And I use these for clarification. This is the ancient Italian tarot, major arcana of that deck. So I'm going to pull 3, and then we're going to dig down with one from each suit of the minor arcana to kind of get a bit more subtlety on the main energy in the major arcana. So here we go. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for clicking on this. Hope you enjoy the reading. Okay. Right, let's go. Okay, we've got the moon in reverse. We've got strength. And we've got the sun. That is really nice. That is really nice. I'm so pleased. Okay. This is where we are right now. The moon in reverse. And I'm getting a feeling of this, that it being in reverse is not the kind of negation of the energy embodied in this card, or kind of represented, should I say, in this card. It's not a negation of it, and it's not an absence of it. It's a kind of convoluted shadow of it, whereby the uncertainty and the murkiness and the kind of strange focus, strange perspective in this card, in the moon, is kind of rendered even stranger. And there's a sense of it being possibly sort of unending. And I mean, the moon has its beginnings and its ends, doesn't it? Its fullness and its invisibility. So it comes and goes. But with this in reverse, it feels like it's just stuck like this. That's what I'm getting off that. But this card here, this position in this 3-card reading, is like the hidden energy. It's what you don't see. And or the kind of the sort of the veil between this and this, right? And this position 3 is like things as they really are. This is things as you see them. This is things as they really are. And this is the hidden energy, the veil, okay? What you don't see. So, I mean, this is a beautiful, beautiful, like, card to get as like the signature card of things as they really are. And oh my gosh, I'm getting something so interesting about the positioning and nature of the sort of emittance of light. Because I was talking over here in the moon in reverse about the coming and the going of the moon. And that is natural. And with it on its head, I said, it feels like that coming and going is stopped. It's just everything sort of static and you're stuck in this energy. There's a stuckness to this reversal. It's not moving through. And of course, the light of the moon is the light of the sun. And the sun is constant in its output. It's constant, it's impartial, it's completely democratic, it's completely inclusive. Doesn't matter what sort of a person someone is, the sun will shine on them. And you know, it's the source. So there's a kind of trumping of this. It's like, how could you possibly think this when this is the case? So I'm going to go straight on and clarify strength here, because this is what you don't see. And this is a very sort of personal quality. This is a quality that I think only like the higher order mammals and humans have, is this decision that this lady here has clearly taken, this decision to get to grips with this. And I mean, you know, if she didn't care, she could just let this lion run wild around her village or around her town, her city. She is a queen here. But, you know, it matters. This is about mattering and about deciding to actually engage with something. So let's have a look. Well, that's nice. Okay. Here we are. Two queens. I so often pull like doubles of like two or more aces, two or more kings and queens. Okay. You know what? I hardly ever clarify this row first. So I'm going to go ahead and just get all the cards out, which isn't necessarily what you want. But that's what's happening anyway. Nice. The wand energy is beautiful. Like 4 of swords and 4 of cups there. Okay, well, I can see clearly a link between 4 of swords and the 4 of cups and this strength card. Because part of getting to grips with things is knowing what to leave out. So there's the theme for this hidden energy. What to, or sort of how to leave stuff out in order to make space for this, the 6 of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands, like generosity, real generosity and sort of worldly generosity. And, you know, perhaps a long-awaited pay rise, perhaps a kind of a win in some sort of case or other, or something, or some sort of payout, or even just the kind of energy of that coming from you, maybe. I mean, you know, the sun is the source of all life, but you are the source of all you. You know, so it's like giving of yourself, and a very clear decision about what to do. And I hardly ever see that here in the Ace of Wands, this sort of deciding. But there is something in this reading today extraordinarily decisive about this. Like, you know what this is, you know what you're holding, you know what you've got, and you've got so much that you can afford to give it away. This is fantastic, and you've got plenty. There might be some sort of speculation going on here, like financial speculation, and in order to sort of invest in something. Okay, just saying. But there's a very, very clear, as I say, decisive quality to the Ace of Wands here. It's absolutely fantastic. And I've come more and more in the 4 of Swords there to see this card as being about sort of humility and the bravery to kind of go into oneself. It's a bit like the minor arcana version of the Hermit. You know, the willingness and the motivation and the courage to kind of sequester yourself here and understand what it is to have the Three of Swords like suspended over you, and developing this Ace of Swords running along the spine here. This is like retreat energy, and this is refrain energy, retreat and refrain. Okay, so that's the energy there. Hold what you have already here in the Queen of Pentacles. Hold what you have with delicacy and lightly, but not lightly as in not giving a what happens to it. I don't mean it like that. I mean really, you know, like that, like it's something really kind of fragile, because you know there is clearly some sort of uncomfortable energy here, and I'll come to this column shortly. But this seems to me like a rather sort of delicate, like fulcrum between this and this. And there's something here about learning restraint. And I mean, there's restraint going on here as well. She is restraining that kind of tantrumy sort of energy. And that, not aggression necessarily, but there's something else. There's some other quality to this, because it is quite serious. I mean, sometimes I refer to the strength card as a matter of sort of getting to grips with your inner rampant toddler, because we've all got one somewhere down there. But I think it's more than that. It's a real sort of awareness that only you can effect change in your life in a way. You can't wait for other people to behave in ways that make you feel good. You can't put the sort of locus of control of your self-esteem and your well-being and your joie de vivre in the hands of others. Yeah, okay, there's always some sort of negotiation going on, but it is yours. It's yours to nurture, it's yours to hold, it's yours to cherish. And it's delicate, like a baby. I mean, look, she's looking at this thing like a baby. It's beautiful. I'm getting off this a kind of lighter version of this. Okay, this is one-pointedness I'm getting here in the Page of Wands today. And keeping your eye on the matter in hand. This is where it fruits, or kind of, this is where it makes the impact, rather. Because we're not talking about pentacles here, we're talking about wands. This is the impact. This is about looking at the motivation for the impact. And this Page of Swords is a kind of lightness of touch when it comes to communication. And being willing to engage, because the sword is aloft, but also to sort of have a wider view and to know when to, in a very light sort of sense, turn a blind eye while still engaging. This is a lovely fresh energy I'm getting off this Page of Swords today. And, you know, quite often I find him a bit foolish. But today there's just something really kind of, and the fact we've got the 2 pages in a row, it's that fresh kind of I don't know, sort of shyly confident sort of thing going on that some young people have. It's really lovely. Really, really, I'm getting very, very nice energy off both the pages today, and that's not always the case. I sometimes feel a little bit impatient with them. Okay. And then we're rounding this off with another queen, the Queen of Cups. So I'm going to come back to this because it's a very powerful card to get in this. I'll come back to it. Hold on a sec. Right, and this is kind of where we are now. So I've done the reading backwards. Never done that before. This feeling of kind of constriction and of something that should be ebbing and flowing, just kind of stagnant. It's stagnant. That moon in reverse is getting a bit whiffy. It's feeding into every area of your life, or to multiple areas, should I say, of your life, with the Ten of Pentacles here, representing the Ten of Pentacles, representing the kind of establishment of like the whole range, yeah, the property, the investments, the ancestors, the descendants, the work, the kind of the material possessions that in the context of multiple areas of your life. This is like the sort of the material network that spreads out from an individual. So there's a multiplicity of ways that this stagnant, sort of brackish sort of energy here of the moon in reverse is showing up, is feeding in, it's affecting it. It's kind of seeping in to this, this network of material kind of structure here, or certainly financial structure. And sort of, it's disempowering. Because you know, to get to this point of the Ten of Pentacles, where you've got, as I say, the ancestors and the descendants and the property, and you've even got the dogs, it's all there. You know, that takes like a lot of work and a sort of a clear idea of what you're worth and what you have to offer and how much you might be able to sell what you have to offer for on the open market. You don't get to that position unless you've made good decisions about that. And, you know, perhaps been a bit lucky as well, but, you know, good decisions. So this is kind of seeping in, and it's seeping in at home as well. The Four of Wands. This is like happy home. It's seeping into that too. And obviously, you know, we don't like that. It's like these batons, the wands. What sort of wood are they made of? Can they withstand this brackish water like seeping into them? Are they going to start rotting from the bottom up? Unless they're alder, of course. It's what they make the canal locks out of, or made the canal locks out of. Anyway, doesn't take on water. So there's a kind of multiple like material seepage going on here with like your dealings in the world, in the Ten of Pentacles, and like your peaceful, happy hearth and home here in the Four of Wands. And there's uncertainty here in the Two of Swords about what to. It's like you're waiting for this ebb and flow that should be happening here in the moon in relation to the sun. Because remember, it is the sun's light that reflects off the moon, waiting for it to get going again. And look, there it is. I think we've got a full moon coming up next, haven't we? It's this sort of paralysis here. and unproductive reflection. There's no vision going on here. We've got the blindfold. We're just kind of stuck. And all the while, it's going, it's getting in there, it's like permeating, trickling into these structures. And the Two of Cups, that's really, wow, okay. Flipping it. I'm just going to come out and say it. It's getting into you, like your one-on-ones as well, like your close stuff, not just like a kind of wide radius in terms of people in your life, in the Ten of Pentacles and whoever you're living with at home, but you know, it's affecting, it's pouring into those cups. It's not good, man. And it's all about this sense of lack of movement. And what I see here now in the context of that is that the getting to grips with of this is to do with creating change. I mean, who wouldn't want to change this? But it's you who does it. It's not events. It's you. Okay. And I see now why the Queen of Cups is here, is because this can only be turned into this, all right, if it's motivated by love. You have to believe that a situation or a person or yourself is worth it in order to put this effort in. You've got to have something motivating you to give you the guts to do that. And what better motivation is there but love? There's a purity of it here. There's no, like, again, like the gaze of the queens here. Like the Queen of Wands, she's not looking at her wand, and the Queen of Swords isn't looking at her sword. They're kind of using them for what they are. But here we've just got this gaze, like the pentacle on the lap, the cup on the lap, and just this gaze of like utter love and tenderness and cherishing. It's really, really lovely. And there's no, nothing is expected back in return for that. And perhaps that is part of what could well be got to grips with, if I can put it like that. And as I say, there's a lightness of touch with this. This is very fortuitous, hidden energy. I like it very much. It's hugely, hugely helpful, but you're helping yourself here. This is not the Tower. This is not death. This is not the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, this is an individual deciding it's time to get to grips with something. Okay. And yeah, we come to this. And I mean, this retreat and restraint here, this is about being alone. And this is about self-discipline and sort of knowing. And I see, I'm seeing this in this Four of Cups for the first time ever. He has already had like 3 pints, all right? He's had 3 drinks already. And today, this dude in the Four of Cups here, this is the one who knows when to stop, all right? This is knowing when to stop. This is knowing when to keep quiet. And this is knowing when to stop. My goodness me, what wonderful skills they are. I'm just looking for more connections here on the horizontal. Because I mean, this in a way, this 2, it's very interesting. It's the only, it's thinking, yeah, The Two of Pentacles, again, is quite similar to the Two of Swords. It's this thing about one individual, okay, with doubled up with something. The Two of Cups is different. And the Two of Wands is one individual as well, isn't it? But okay. In not knowing what to, I'm sorry when I go quiet like that, I'm really, really kind of sniffing out the connections. Here we don't know what to say, and we're saying nothing. We've blocked ourselves. And that is perhaps the first sensible card in this narrative here of this stagnant water, like leaking out, like trickling over everything. And as I'm saying that water behind ain't looking too clever. Let me have a look. Yeah. I mean, doesn't look hugely attractive, does it? So best do this if you're in this kind of like rather sort of stinky energy here. Best do this. But it's difficult. It's unpleasant to be stuck like this. And then we move over here to the page, which is immediately a fresher energy. And it's something to do with looking the other way. All right. It's something to do with that. And this reading really does hinge on this card. Because this is the decision to shift the energy. It's the decision. And I think by the time we get to the Two of Cups in this row, we've kind of got to the point, there's a kind of Ten of Swords energy about this. We've got to the point where it's affecting this and this and this and this. It's like this has got to stop. This has got to stop. It's too pervasive and it's gone far enough. Basta così. It stops. It stops. And that's what we have here. And from then on, we've got a very kind of effective process of engaging with this, clearly engaging with this hidden energy here, this like undertow, this underbelly energy here, with this tenderness and this lightness of touch, really lovely, onto here. And I mean, okay, in some respects, in some readings, the Four of Swords and the Four of Swords is about sort of just like shutting yourself away and sort of turn to stone or whatever. And the Four of Cups can be about sort of, I don't know, churlish refusal, or sort of reader I really like refers to it as emotional neutral. But I'm seeing them in more active ways today. These are life skills that are somehow learned through this process. The capacity to be alone and be well, and the capacity to say no when it's a good idea to say no, and sort of developing that, or basically maturing the inner rampant toddler, as I said. So that's a lot of energy for a daily read. So I'm gonna leave that there. It's lovely. It's lovely. It moves swiftly. We move swiftly from this kind of like oh God, you know, this just can't work, to this right action, and then like this, and then we're right through to here. Six of Pentacles, a kind of a correct outcome on some front to do with Pentacles, a fair outcome, and yeah, fairness and generosity. And I mean, what could be more lovely a combination than to be just and fair and equal and generous to boot? That's absolutely lovely, because the generosity shows that there's choice involved in it. He's choosing to give this money to these people, or to this one. And there is a reason why he's not giving it to that one, but I'll go into that on another reading. I have mentioned it in a couple of readings before. And yeah, and then we have this kind of single-pointed vision here, like actually manifesting over here. So, and these like enhanced life skills of self-management here, self-management. This is all about self-management, and it's effective, if I may say. So I'm really pleased to see that. Right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye.